Good morning, everybody out there in Zoom land. Aloha. Today, Mike and I will be giving our talk on technology pointers for seniors. Now, our focus is going to be on computer technology. I know a couple sessions ago, Dr. Sito had discussed some great technology to help your heart. However, our talk is specifically for computer technology such as handheld devices or your desktop computer, smart appliances, etc. Since the last time I gave this talk, which was in February of this year, a lot has changed, especially with the use of technology. Who would have known that we'd be sitting here in Zoom land doing the mini med school? Because of all the craziness, I had to take off and go to space and take a quick vacation. Just kidding. This is a virtual background that you can do in Zoom. And also another fun thing in Zoom is you can apply these filters. This is my pirate filter from space, pre-happy Halloween. You can give those filters a try the next time you Zoom with your family or friends. Now let's get started. I will be giving my talk on computer technology pointers for seniors. I'll start with a little background, then go into some examples of computer technology applications that you may be interested in trying or using. Mike will be following my talk and he will be giving his talk on computer security. So here's another cool feature of Zoom. I can actually show my slides as a virtual background and show myself talking in a little box in the corner up here. So now let's get started with technology pointers for seniors. First, I'll start with some background information. Let's start with looking at the increase in the use of electronic devices by older adults. So on the right side, we have a graph here. For older Americans, leisure time looks different today than it did a decade ago. This is a poll taken between 2005 and 2015. Screen time has increased by almost 30 minutes. Whereas inversely, other leisure activities, socializing, and reading have decreased. Now, I'm guessing that this number is relatively low compared to today, as the increase probably went up from February 2020 to now. On the left side, this is directly related also to the use of the internet. Internet users age 65 and older in the year 2000, only 14% claim that they use the internet. But in 2019, it went up to 73%. This is also related to using smartphones. In the year 2000, the use of smartphones by those aged 65 years and older was virtually uncommon. However, it was virtually uncommon for a lot of people since the technology was pretty new at that time. Smartphone usage really took off around the year 2010, but primarily by those 35 years and younger. In the 2019, those polled age 65 and older said 53% said that they use smartphones. Now, I'm guessing the rate of smartphone usage by all of you out there in the mini med school is higher than 53%. I'm guessing most of you have a smartphone, especially since you're able to log on to Zoom and view the mini med school sessions online. You guys are all on the upper echelon of tech savvy older adults. Let's look at some benefits of technology used by older adults. Today in my daily life, every day I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do, I have to admit, is I grab my phone. It kind of helps me in bed wake up. So I look at the news, I check my email, I look at Facebook, I look at some of the headlines, maybe read an article too of what's going on. All these applications are over the internet. Internet use has shown significant associations with decreased depression, decreased loneliness, greater sense of community, increased well-being, and greater life satisfaction. This is all because I feel connected. I know what's going on. I can email my friends right through my phone. Health-related technology. There's a ton of e-health information on the internet. And the only thing I have to say is one has to be careful on the source of the information. There's a lot of great information out there. There's a lot of universities that have health sites that have fabulous information, but there's also a lot of deceiving information and information that just is not true. So just be careful and look at the source of where the information is coming. Access to care and support. There's a ton of forums out there. If you have a problem, all you have to do is Google it, and there's information on people who have the same problem, people who are searching for the same answers, and people who are answering them. So there's a lot of information. For health-related wearable technology, I wear a Fitbit. So I know exactly what 10,000 steps is, and I know exactly when I'm not meeting my goal of 10,000 steps per day. but it's good because at least I'm aware of the fitness that I need to keep and try to maintain. Leisure time. Oh, there's lots of stuff. Netflix, Amazon Prime for movies, ebooks, social networking sites, places where you can connect, talk about things, what's going on. My husband, as you'll see later, he's addicted to Twitter with all the political craziness going on. He calls that leisure time. I stay away from that because I call that a little bit of stress. So facilitate continued learning. Of course, there's a lot of information out there. There's ebooks also you can learn from. Increase performance of daily living activities. So this is an area in my life where technology has really made a difference, and that is with online shopping. Even pre-COVID, we did a lot of shopping online, and it makes life a little easier, improves safety. I don't have to drive. I don't have to hassle with stopping at the store and the parking lots and all that. And it's accessible. I can shop for almost virtually anything on my desktop computer now. There's access to banking, government services now, and recipes, all kinds of activities and information accessible online to help make your life a little bit easier. I just wanted to mention the picture on the bottom left here. This is Dr. Satoru Izutsu, and his office is 2 doors down from mine, and he's 92 years old, still working, still using technology, still benefiting from all the capabilities. So in this slide, we'll talk about why older adults are less likely to adopt new technology in general. Have you heard of the terms digital immigrant versus digital native? Well, a digital native is someone who is born with the technology. They're the kids that are growing up with the touch screens, with the PCs, with the internet, with being able to Google on the fly. Digital immigrants are those that are not born into that technology or using that technology, but have to learn. They have a bit of a learning curve to become proficient, and that leads to a lack of confidence. There's also a lack of awareness, motivation, access, skill, or experience, all that is involved with not growing up with that technology. And again, being a digital immigrant comes with a little bit of insecurity towards the technology. Learning anything new, trying anything for the first time, there's always a little bit of apprehension. Am I doing it correctly? I don't want to break things. Also, with a digital immigrant, since they did not grow up with the technology, they're more likely to desire help from others or desire help in general. Usability is another factor on why older adults may not be adopting technology as fast as younger adults. As we age past 65, there could be physical challenges, eyesight, limitations in mobility and dexterity, possible cognitive declines. Technology today is not built for a person who's aging past 65. It's built for the younger person. When I first taught my mom how to use a smartphone, the concept of holding down your finger and swiping was very difficult. So she would just basically take their phone and go like this. And I said, no, 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 no. You have to hold down your finger and swipe. And that concept was new and difficult, and it led to a little bit of frustration. But with practice, she got the hang of it, no problem. Lack of intuitive navigation and non-general user interface. You pick up an iPhone, that's going to be very different from an Android phone. You pick up an iPad, the controls are going to be different from Kindle. So it's not fully intuitive on what to do for each device. So that therein lies a challenge also in learning that. Frustration. Terminology also can be frustrating. Now, when you go websites, it all says, do you accept these cookies? Do you accept these location access information type of messages that come up? What does that mean? What exactly does that mean? For me, like I click no and then nothing really happens. So I'm not exactly sure what that cookie did. Bandwidth, RAM, HDMI, all these terms that come with computer technology may be confusing and they're not lay. So for the digital immigrant, it can be difficult. Privacy and personal data concerns. Again, Mike will talk extensively about that, but that's always a concern. This last bullet, I put COVID-19 accelerates technology adoption. So as we have seen, yes, it has. All of you are out there, you're on Zoom. Who would have known that since February that you would be at the mini med school at home on a computer, video conferencing our Zoom sessions? However, with that technology, again, there's some frustration on usage, on capabilities, on being able to fully make the most of the technology. So we talked about barriers to adopting technology. Let's talk about predictors. So I'll go back to talking about Dr. Azutsu. So one day, this was a little bit pre-COVID, he came by and he said, my friends take Uber or Lyft, and at nighttime, I have a hard time driving, so I'd like to learn. Can you show me? I said, sure. So we go on his phone, we download the Uber app, and I show him how to do it and see the cars moving. And, his credit card is all set to use. And he said, great, I'm going to try it. And then, of course, comes COVID. But what I'm trying to say here is his perceived value and benefit of using that technology was great. Being able to catch a lift, go places, have freedom, but not having the worry of having to drive was important. It impacted his quality of life because he's able to get out at nighttime and not have to worry about having to drive or not having to worry about seeing at night while driving. His self-accessibilities, his perceived ease of use. He's confident. He's confident in learning. He feels that and knows that after a few times, after practice, he can do it. It's not going to be a barrier. He's optimistic. So optimism is another predictor to adoption. Being positive, saying that, yes, I want to try this. I want to get out. I want to do things. I'll try new technology that will help me. And this is interesting, the bullet on higher concern with privacy. So that was a predictor to adoption. And I think what that means is that people who are willing to try and willing to put themselves out there to learn new technology do have a higher concern with privacy, because that is an actual concern. Higher concern with privacy is because of higher usage. And the last bullet, I just want to really emphasize that needing help to learn technology is not a predictor of adoption. Anything new, regardless if it's technology or not, we all need to learn, we all need to train to become proficient. So asking for help is a good thing. My mother always asks my kids for help. They're on their phones a lot. My mom has her smartphone and she's always asking them, how do I do this in chat? How do I take a video? How can I send a video? And they help her. And I think it's it's good for both of them. It teaches the kids that, it's good to help your relatives, your friends. And then my mom is getting the help from her grandkids and getting some quality time with them also. So now let's talk about how to improve technology usability for aging adults. Below on the picture, not of my mom and the two kids, but to the right of that, there's a slide that says concerns about telehealth visits among adults aged 50 to 80 surveyed in June 2020. So when you look at this slide, it says 75% of healthcare providers are not able to conduct a physical exam, and 67% said the quality of care is not as good in telehealth compared to in-person visits. On the patient side, 45% are not feeling personally connected, 25% have difficult hearing, seeing healthcare providers, and 24% have privacy concerns. Now, this needs a change. Telehealth visits are becoming the new norm. My mom actually had one through Kaiser Hawaii here. She set up her laptop and the doctor was able to connect, and I thought it went pretty well. However, there are, some improvements that can be made, and that is recognition of age-related changes, fewer buttons, intuitive buttons, and speech-activated tools. So a lot of the keyboards, I don't know if you know this on your smartphones, when you type something in text, it has a little microphone. So you click that microphone and you can talk in your phone. Now that speech recognition is pretty good. If I'm in a rush, if I have a long text, I just use that and then send, and it makes things very easy. Because even I have a hard time punching in those little letters with my fingers. Access to training and assistance. So this is very important because, as we all know, as digital immigrants, access to training is something that will help us improve usability, help us use the technology and benefit from all the different applications that are available. Awareness of existing tools and possibilities, again, being aware of what's available and how it can help you. Also, being trained, exploring more in technology, using more technology, you're going to increase self-efficacy, which is your self-confidence in using it. Increase perceived ease of use. So when you first use your smartphone, maybe it was kind of confusing, but the more you used it, the easier it got. The more you do anything, the easier it gets. This goes to motivation. Of course, as I mentioned before, Dr. Zutsu, he was motivated to learn, motivated to use the technology. And that is something that I think will eventually be tied into improving technology uses. The more that people want to use technology, the more developers will say, we have something, we're going to develop something that is usable for you. So that's all I have on the background on technology and aging. Now I'll talk about some useful technology examples. And these are examples that I feel that are very useful, and I think they're beneficial, especially as we age. We talked about the importance of training. Training helps us learn the technology, become more at ease, and actually benefit more from the technology, especially as digital immigrants. The first website, techboomers.com, has over 100 free training courses and articles. This website is specifically geared towards older adults. It has topics such as social networking, Facebook, Instagram, online dating, eHarmony, Match.com, and shopping, eBay, Amazon. These are just examples. And of course, shopping is becoming more and more the norm with our pandemic situation. GCFlearnfree.org is run by Goodwill Foundation, and that has specific computer training for older adults. And that includes computer skills, internet skills, smartphone tablets, and software. Photoshop, Microsoft are a couple examples. So the third one I snuck in there, thank you, Dr. Henshaw, for sending me this URL, is the Poynter Institute for Media Studies. This is a journalism school and research institute run by the Tampa Bay Times. Now, we talked a little bit about health information and making sure that you're going to the right sources, because we all heard about fake news. So this website helps people, especially by age groups, learn how to do this. So I'm going to share my screen right here to go to the website. So here we go, poynter.org. Now, if you look at the menu, this is the main page. You go to media literacy. Here you have an option for seniors, also for Gen Z and for other options. But here, if you click on for seniors, it has a specific page specifically for digital immigrants. So here we go, Media Wise for Seniors, teaching older Americans how to sort fact from fiction online. If you scroll down a little bit more, there's training, Media Wise for Seniors live fact checking seminar. There's also Media Wise for Seniors self-directed fact checking course. These are resources that you may be interested in checking out for fact checking. There's some other information on here, such as news, fact checking. They have a whole item on training also. But I just wanted to point out they have a media literacy specifically for seniors. Another example that I'd like to talk about is digital assistants, and I'll use the Amazon Echo as an example. So these are devices that you can put in your home. I'm sure you've all heard about the Alexa, the Amazon Echo device. It's connected to the internet, and it's basically a smart friend that you can have in the house. You can set medical reminders, personal alerts, shopping lists. You can get the date, time, weather, traffic, music, miscellaneous information. In fact, can control smart home devices. So we have our Alexa or our Echo connected to our lights, connected to music. For example, I'm sitting at home right now. I can say, Alexa, tell me the weather.
Right now in Honolulu, it's 87 degrees Fahrenheit with partly sunny skies. Tonight's forecast is mostly clear skies with a low of 75 degrees.
Alexa, stop. So there you go. So I have a quick little video that I found humorous with older adults using Alexa for the first time.
So I'll ask Alexa questions and she'll give me the answers.
Sorry, I can't find the answer to the question I heard.
Alexa, what are you, a computer?
Alexa, what do you think of Donald Trump?
I don't have an opinion on that.
Alexa, can you tell me a nice joke?
Why did the banker quit his job? He lost interest.
Alexa, please send my wife flowers.
I have 4 types of arrangements available. Which arrangement would you like?
Do you know anything about space?
Space is the boundless 3-dimensional extent in which objects and events have relative position and direction.
That is wrong. It's a 4-dimensional thing. Are you aware of the time dimension?
When are we going to have peace in the world?
I'm not sure what you meant by that question.
Alexa, this is a long question. Please wait while I explain. How long?
Sorry, I can't find the answer to the question I heard.
I am from Israel, but in Israel they have it a lot of country, like Palestine.
Playing samples by Metallica.
What is music?
Alexa, you make us dance.
What else can we order?
Alexa, can you help me buy some underwear?
I've added underwear to your shopping list.
Boxer shorts? Size 33?
So another useful technology example is YouTube. I'm sure all of you have heard of YouTube. I really love YouTube and it's really taken off in this day and age. I use YouTube a lot for instructional videos. So yes, I was one of those who started baking. I learned how to make my starter, my sourdough starter, and then bake bread with it. And I had no idea pre-COVID how to bake sourdough bread. I had no idea on how to pull and fold and then let it rise and how my starter should look. So YouTube really helped me in teaching me how to do that. There are how-to videos on technology, usage, hobbies, cooking, health education. I must admit, I did a yoga class on YouTube. There's product reviews, which are very helpful, inspirational videos, and music videos. The last one that I looked at was the BTS Dynamite. Have you heard of them? BTS is a K-pop band that is hugely taken off, and I wanted to take a look and see what all the hype was about. It's BTS Dynamite, not my genre, but it was interesting nonetheless. Oh, I forgot to almost mention on the bottom left image, that is our Mini Med School website YouTube page. Now, you can access these videos via our website. However, they're on our YouTube channel. So YouTube stores them and you can access it directly and view all the videos. So check it out someday. So I mentioned ride sharing previously with Uber or Lyft, and currently the use is low among older adults. Why is this? It's a tribute to awareness, confidence, safety concerns, limited use of the mobile app that you have to use to schedule your rides with, and security, of course. However, I think Uber or Lyft, the ride sharing, is a great benefit, especially as we age. Benefits include improved mobility, preserved independence, improved quality of life, convenience, and then family and friends can request a ride on your behalf if you need help. I think it's just a great app that you can go, and if you don't like to drive in the evening especially, you can just Uber it and pay a minimal cost. The app has everything. It's upfront, the cost upfront, it's done. There's no cash exchange. It's done completely through the app on your phone. I want to mention that Uber and Lyft do have gift cards also. I just happened to see one at Foodland the other day. If you know someone who you think maybe shouldn't be driving, or maybe, it's better and safer for them to take a Lyft at night versus driving themselves, maybe try give them a gift card, encourage them to try it. Ebooks and audiobooks. On the bottom left, Americans who report listening to audiobooks have increased from 11 to 20% from 2011 and to 2019. However, I believe this probably has increased even more since February. Now, you can purchase ebooks on places like Amazon. You can view it on your iPhone, Android, Fire tablets, on your computer. However, I personally go to the public library. Hawaii State Library online has a ton of ebooks and audiobooks for free to check out. I use the app Overdrive, which is installed on my handheld device. So I can listen to my audiobooks when I drive because it connects to my car. When I walk, I listen to audiobooks. When I do laundry, any sort of, brain numbing activity, I just put on my audiobook and it makes time go super fast and then your activity is done. So I think it's great. Check it out if you haven't. And they're free from the library, which is always great, right? Free. Video teleconferencing. So I had to add this slide because yes, we are all now online using video teleconferencing. I'm sure a lot of you prior to the COVID lockdown had used video teleconferencing, but I'm sure a lot of you have not, and this is something new. Looking at back to telehealth visits on the bottom right, as of May 2019, those surveyed, only 4% had used video teleconferencing in a telehealth visit. But between March to June 2020, 26% surveyed had used video teleconferencing in a telehealth visit. So I know when my mom saw her primary care doctor at Kaiser, she did it through video teleconferencing. And also the video was required. The doctor needed to see a picture of her face to see how she was, just to see how she looks. and that was part of the visit. So platforms of video teleconferencing include Zoom, FaceTime, Skype, Google Hangouts, and applications include, like I mentioned, telehealth visits, but also social connection. As you can see on the bottom, these are my friends. They all live in California, and because of the lockdown, we decided to connect and have a pauhana. Now, this was great because, prior to the lockdown, everybody was busy. We call or email once in a while, but since everyone was socially isolated, we decided to meet. And since then, we've been meeting regularly. So it's been a great social connection for me. Well, that concludes my portion of the talk, Technology Pointers for Seniors. Thank you so much for your attention. Mike will now follow my talk with computer hygiene and security. Oh, I almost forgot. I have homework for you. I have a challenge. I would challenge everybody to go out there on the internet and find a new technology to learn about, or learn something new about trusted resources, or maybe download a new app that may benefit you and help you in your daily life. Thank you for your attention.